All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass, and it's Monday night, and I didn't want to come out here today, but I had to come and get something done, and I did have one last little thing to do on the olds, and that was put our spacer for our crossmember. So if you guys remember, I told you guys that I dropped the crossmember half of an inch so that when I go to remove the crossmember, I can remove the spacers, drop the bolts, and just swing it out versus having to fight the transmission and helicopter it out. It's just going to slide out now because it's mounted on angle iron. But I wanted it to slide out easy, so I lowered the crossmember a half inch, and I have to run a half-inch spacer, which isn't that big of a deal. I made them out of nice half-inch solid aluminum. Drilling through them fucking sucked. As you guys can see, we've cleaned up quite a bit. Our fan is up there. That's going to be its permanent spot. I got to get some flappers for it. Our bench is clean. We've cleaned up over here, and this is what I was talking about, I think, in the other video. These are the cabinets I got from Dr. Dan. I'm going to put a small bench top up here, mainly for our grinder and our grinders, pretty much. Our vise is going to stay here. So, all right, let me show you guys what I got going on. If I can turn the goddamn flash on. So that's what we got going on. And I checked the pinion angle, and we're at about 3.5. I didn't use the digital gauge because I forgot it at the shop. I wasn't expecting to come out here, but I kind of got my second wind and said, you know what, may as well get it done. It's just 4 bolts. Get down there with the jack. I can't lift the car up because I want it as static as possible. So, what it came down to is it looks like we're at about 3 to 3.5 degrees of pinion angle. We do run a drag radial, so we do want that extra, bite. Essentially, what's going on with your pinion angle is when the car is accelerating, the pinion wants to come up. And in theory, you want those driveline angles to be like at 0 under hard acceleration. There will be some twist there. And so the rear end naturally wants to come up. And if it comes up and you're at 0, you will unload the tire because at that point the rear end is trying to roll over itself. At least that's my understanding. I could be explaining it wrong. But the point being is that right now my pinion is actually dead at 0. And the drive shaft is actually going upwards at about 3 degrees, 3.5-ish. I'm going to put the digital gauge on it and we'll see what happens. But it is ideal. It was at 3 before, so we literally put everything back kind of where it was. And this car has always 60-footed really good and had really good bite, so I've always ran it at like 3. JJ, which I bounced I always ask because pinion angles are for such a small topic, it's very controversial because you're going to get a couple different ways of how you do it. So we're just comparing drive shaft angle to the pinion angle, and we got 3.5. I'm pretty sure it's 3. It was hard to read all the little lines again with the car being so on the ground. But we're good. Everything's good. We got that done. I was doing a little bit of work to the trailer today, getting the winch set up, the battery set up for that. I'm waiting on a fuse pack for the trailer to protect the truck itself if there was a short in the trailer, because last year we had that problem with the Suburban where we kept pinching the harness. But I'm relocating the harness, but using the inline fuse deal is actually going to make it really easy because I'll be able to feed all my wires through the frame rail of the trailer, and then I will be able to put the connector for the trailer up on top of the frame rail versus underneath where it was getting pinched on other sharp edges and stuff. So I got that, and then we got to mount the toolbox. I actually got Scooty Poof, our little Honda scooter, fired up. I'm brake cleaner, but it ran. I got to get gas for that. Got to fire up the generator that I acquired. I got an inverter generator that's super quiet. That's nice. It'll work for our needs. And getting the toolbox mounted on the trailer is going to be good. And then I think for weekend work, it's going to be jack it up, check the brakes and stuff, or I got to look at the weather. I may do it Friday because it's supposed to be really, really nice Friday. But also, wedding anniversary is this weekend, so I have to make time for my wife because she puts up with all my insanity. And that's not a burden on me, by the way, saying that it's our anniversary, but I do have to kind of leave my weekend open and not doing as much work. Working on the trailer is light work to me. Wiring a car for an entire weekend, I was gone all weekend. She put up with that. And if you guys saw the short, go check it out. That's my buddy Tim's Mustang with a 351 Windsor pump gas motor, just badass ripper. We built the engine in the basement. The transmission, it's a 4R70W, electronically controlled. And car has gone 1090s. It's fully streetable with a 373 gear. It's got overdrive, and we're doing sick week with it. So now that I got a roll cage, I might get like a proper camera holder and do something with that. And we're definitely going to be recording our journey along sick week. Maybe even going live on the road, whatever it comes at. But the crazy part about sick week is the schedules for the track didn't come out until after we got on, on sick week. So I have to leave Saturday morning to our home track, which is a starting point. And then I have to go with my car, truck, trailer, everything set up, because as soon as we come back from sick week, we have a race. And we stopped running Sportsman. I actually let my NHRA license lapse, so I kind of lost my number, but I'm still going to run the same number until it becomes a conflict. Maybe I'll be able to get it back if I call. But essentially, we're not running any of the NHRA classes because there isn't much of a payout in the Sportsman class or the Street class. Pro pays pretty good. Index pays pretty well. And we're mainly planning on running the Index. We kind of settled into that class. We really like it. The car seems to favor the Pro Tree. As far as my reactions and all that stuff goes, I think I'm going to put my foot in my mouth here. Watch, I'm going to have a horrible season. But once we got the car figured out, after Dave and I did the carburetor work, we spent like 4 hours modifying it, going through it, doing all the tricks. This car got really consistent, and off the line, it did its, it comes down to me, but this car got really consistent. So we were able to run that Index class and be on like right in a split where we were on the ragged edge of breaking out, and it was always a pedal fest on the big end. And I don't know, they combined a couple classes. We're still going to run Street Heat, which I think it's called. They're going to continue calling it Street Heat. But it's like 1080 to like 12.0. And it's like it is a staggered start, but again, you're launching on a Pro Tree. It's like a pseudo Index race, but you're dialing it to the 10th, not to the 100th. So it'll be a 1060, 1070, 1090, or 1170, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I think we're all good. I do have to reinforce my shifter a little bit. It's a little bit wobblier than I'd like, but I think I just got to add a couple of support struts, or maybe a couple of welds on the side there. It's on a weird part of the floor tunnel, so it moves a little bit more than I'd like it to, but that's a minor job. While they're out, do it, boom, done. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Go watch the shorts on Buddy's car and something else. And, if you guys don't like me, your mom sure will, so it's all good. We'll see you around.